To be honest, I probably should have practiced this track a bit more instead of playing Dark Souls. Oh, I don't want to die now. Got too far. No! Ah! Anyway, this was my best lap of Q1. Unfortunately, I did sort of crash into the wall. But still, it was an improvement, even with the suspension damage. However, it was only good enough for P11. That did mean we got to choose what compound to start on, though. So it turns out that crash at turn 3, sheer strategy. Completely intense. So what I decided to do was start on the softs, take them as far as I could, and then go on to the super softs for a comfortable one-stop race. I lost a couple of positions at the start, but I knew I could get them back with the strategy if I stayed out of trouble and didn't damage the car. It was at this point I realised my dogs were barking because of people setting off fireworks. But I can't really complain because it was bonfire night. Oh wait, no it wasn't. On to lap 4 down, we've gone wide into turn 1, but that's Danny Robbins ahead of us who's spun, but because of the mistake we made into turn 1, Sesame is right behind us as we go into turn 2 and actually takes the position. I took a wide line to get a good exit though, and here we are going side by side as we go into turn 3, and I'm able to get the move done. Unfortunately, later on in the lap, Sesame spun out just before we got to the castle section. A couple laps later then we can see Liam ahead in the escape road. I'm sure nothing similar will happen to him later on in the race. Lap 13, we've got Sergey and Matthew right behind us going onto the main straight. I've absolutely no defence at this point, no DRS, they're just going to fly past me at this stage. There's just nothing I can do. Lap 16 on what's essentially the final corner, I end up spinning on the curb and crashing into the wall. It's time for the quiz section of the show. How much time did I lose fixing this damage? Was it A, 18.2 seconds, B, no one cares, so we had to pit much earlier than I wanted to. And even though the pit crew did their best, the car's still really damaged. The rear end stepped out every time I turned left at all, and as you can see I'm having to turn the wheel slightly right just to keep it in a straight line. Even so, the car's still weaving all over the place. Honestly, it was like trying to drive like this. The one stop was completely out the window, and the rear end was stepping out at every left-hander.
One car, watch out! Oh! Reversing back onto the racing line, fucking hell.
This caused massive problems for the rest of the race. The car was almost undrivable. Luckily though, it didn't affect consistency. I had to make a second pit stop, emerging over a minute behind P10. All of a sudden I ended up getting loads of time in the final few laps. I've no idea how it happened, he must have just spun out of his own volition. That meant on the final lap we were tantalisingly close to passing Palacios. I didn't even realise that I was already in the points, I was concentrating that hard. And as we went onto the start-finish straight for the final time, after everything that happened in that race, I managed to beat Palacios by 0.066 of a second.